Here's your daily Tottenham news headlines with me, Harry Scarfe, football content creator, YouTuber and football writer, stepping in for the wonderful Craig Dearman. So thank you very much and welcome back to the channel. And I want to thank Chris Cullen for allowing me to do this and for this opportunity. If you're new, please do like and subscribe. If you're unfamiliar with how it works, first part of the video is headlines. Second part of the video is dissecting them as we get you involved and also give opinions. So let's get straight into it. Thomas Frank on what he thought he needed to change as the manager when watching Spurs matches from last season. He said, first and foremost, it's important to say that Ange and his staff achieved massively by winning the Europa League title. I thought there was a lot of good things that I can use, a foundation we can build from here. What I'd like to add is probably a little bit more balance. And of course, I think we want to achieve something big. We need to be good in all phases of the game if we want to do that. Thomas Frank on Heung-min Son, he didn't give a lot away. He just said, I see a player that can play a very good role here next season. He's come in with a very good mindset, trained very hard and very well. Donna Cullen, new CEO, Vinay Vanakashum and Donna Cullen were all seen and pictured on Tottenham's tour in Hong Kong. Mickey van der Ven on Thomas Frank. He said the first couple of weeks have been really good working under the new gaffer. The first meeting I was not there because I was with the national team. He just showed us his visions and how he wants us to behave on and off the pitch. That's the first things that are really important to him and that we'll get into the group now. Thomas Frank has confirmed that Tottenham Hotspur defender Destiny Udogie has suffered a knee injury. Thomas Frank said Destiny got a knee injury that we're assessing at the moment. When we know more, we will update soon. Thomas Frank said Arsenal are one of the best teams, I must say, unfortunately, in the world. We need to be honest. Of course, it is more than just a friendly. We'll do everything we can to win it. Thomas Frank has commented on Spurs' attacking depth. He said, I think it is important we have depth in the squad. I see Richarlison more as a striker. Sonny and Matthias Tell can play out wide and up front. I thought options have different skill sets. Next, Fabrizio Romano reports Tottenham were never in serious talks with Bournemouth's Ilai Sabane, despite reports. The Ukraine international has been linked with a move to Paris Saint-Germain this summer. Give Me Sport report the Tottenham Hotspur midfielder Yves Bissouma is understood to have discussed internally at Saudi Arabian club Al Hilal as a possible target. Bissouma's contract expires in 2026, with Spurs planning to sell the Mali international this summer. Next, the Athletic UK report that despite reports over in Spain, Tottenham Hotspur are not looking at players in Rodrigo's position, and he would not be interested in a move to Tottenham anyway. Thomas Frank on Tottenham's injury issues last season. He said, I know about the injury issues, but it's a problem for every club in the world. We have a good and long pre-season so we can push the players. We're aware of how we want to train. We need to be aligned on how we want to play and train. There are gym sessions, recovery and ability to compete in all tournaments. We are aware and we'll make a few adjustments so we can compete. Thomas Frank on the positions he'd like to strengthen when asked by Expressions. He said, that is something I would like to keep private, of course. We're aware of we maybe want to strengthen in the squad in general. Kudus has come in and shown his quality already. Of course, we are looking. The Athletic UK report the Tottenham transfer target, Harvey Elliott, is valued by Liverpool at around £50 million. Tottenham Hotspur took to X to say we're delighted to announce a partnership with premium pet food brand Frontier Pets. They'll become our official pre-season tour sleeve partner. Official pet food partners and official partners for our groundbreaking supporters club for dog owners, Tottenham Hotspur. Fabrizio Romano reports that Rangers are optimistic to seal all details of Mikey Moore loan deal this week. No buy option, straight loan until June 2026. And BBC Sport report that Mikey Moore is expected to sign a contract extension before completing his loan move to Rangers. So that is the latest on that. And last but not least, a report for RMC Sport states that Tottenham are ready to put the 70 million euros claimed by Bournemouth for Ilai Sabane. They're willing to pay that, but the Ukrainian only wants PSG. That's the only club that he wants to go to, and that is your headlines. So let's go through the second part of the video and discuss them. Firstly, about what he needs to change, Thomas Frank, and what you saw last season. I like that he's really respectful of Ange. Is that look, it's really important they achieve that Europa League title, and he talks about good things and build on a foundation, but also is honest in terms that we need to build a bit more balance. I mean, in my humble opinion, obviously, I don't think it's right to sack Ange. That's how I feel. But we've got to move on from that. That's not what I want to discuss here. What I want to pick out is that as much as I'd like to Ange, I think we lacked that in-game management, number one, but number two, mainly that flexibility and adaptability in game. Like good examples when we lost 4-1 at home to Chelsea, where the formation stays the same, the high line stays the same. Whereas realistically, you have to look at that with a little bit of common sense, in my opinion, and go, look, you've got 9 men, and you've got your best players, including James Maddison, come off injured. Let's take what we have and hold on, which I believe it was at the time 1-1 or even 2-1, and just shut up shop and somehow try and get 2-2 out of it on the counter. But we didn't do that. So Thomas Frank, I'll just say a bit more flexibility. He could change his formation in game, a little bit more, less rigid. Let's say less rigid is definitely the way of putting it. With him and Son, I mean, he doesn't open up too much, doesn't give too much away, but sounds like he wants him here for next season. Interested in Donna Collins there. I thought she'd left, so I don't know what the situation is about that. Van der Ven speaks well about Thomas Frank. A doggy injury, I mean, that just tells me that we need to sign a left back. I don't know who out there would be right for us, but we need left back cover. That's the thing. Morgan Gibbs White money for me should be spent on improving that midfield and adding depth in fullback positions. Thomas Frank, I mean, it's been very bold to say that Arsenal, is one of the best clubs in the world. A lot of people won't like that. Won't like that he's talking about Arsenal because he's twice now he's glazed them since being here. But he's been brutally honest. He's been brutally honest. No surprise about Sabani. We weren't really in talks with him. There is other reports since that we could potentially put a bid in. Basuma's one to watch. I think it'd be right for him to leave. Rodrigo, I mean, that was never going to happen, was it? Interesting that Thomas Franks noted the injury issues. He's going to make a little adaptations, but maybe hints that the training needs to be right. I mean, Harvey Elliott is an interesting one, the report by Athletic, because he deserves more minutes and he wants more minutes, first team football, but I don't think he suits Thomas Frank's idea of, be this kind of, I suppose, good boy, if you like, on and off the pitch. I just don't think don't see him meeting the don't know dickheads policy that Frank has. I don't think he's a nice person, but a good player. But for me, not right for Tottenham in the dressing room. That is your daily Tottenham headlines this lunchtime. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe to the channel. Thanks, Chris Callan, for this opportunity. If you want to follow me, you can at Harry Scarfe too across all socials. Also, my YouTube channel, Harry Scarfe. You can change my own Tottenham podcast too, the Scarfe's Personal Podcast.